Milwaukee has a new sander. Hey everyone, it's Greg with Spotted Tongue Woodworking, and Milwaukee has a new sander. I know what you're thinking. That's a little sander. It's not very big. Why would you buy it? Why would you want it? What good is it? And I'll tell you. So here we go. Milwaukee, I am a huge fan of the M12 lineup. I believe it is the most trade-specific lineup there is in the power tool market. Very specialty tools that work very well, especially for me in trim carpentry and in cabinet making. And a couple years ago, they came out with their M12 detail sander, which is light years ahead of using an oscillating tool with a sanding pad, because the oscillating tool just goes like this and it makes terrible scratch marks and not really good sanding. Very good rough sanding, not very good finish sanding. This M12 detail sander, much smaller footprint, 4 power modes, and it is a true little orbital sander, so you do get good fine finishing with this little orbital. The one thing I don't like about it is that you can see that it has 0 dust collection. So it is great to use, very good results, but it does leave a mess. Fast forward to 2024, and there is a new M12 sander on the market. And this is the M12 Orbital, random orbital sander. It is a true random orbital sander, and I have to say, it's a very interesting tool. I'm not going to say it's the only sander you need. It is a sander that works well in a complementary role to primary sanders and other sanders. If you can see the look and the shape of it, you might see that it looks a lot like another tool brand that rhymes with Fest and ends with Tool. This is the 125. Obviously this is more closely resembles the RO90. I don't have an RO90, which would actually combine both of these to an extent and have 2 in 1. So that does make sense. The RO90 has a very special place. It just, as a sander, as a tool, it's a lot different than other sanders on the market. And it just means that holding it is a little awkward compared to what you might expect from more of your traditional style of sander. That being said, I saw this, immediately thought Festool, and I'm not going to say it is a direct competitor to the RO90. The RO90, having the Rotex mode and the fine finish mode, this definitely does not have the power of a Rotex sander. However, I would say that this is a better fine finisher than a Rotex is. I am very much impressed by Rotex, or the Rotex mode, heavy duty, get as much wood off as you can, as quickly as you can. That mode is phenomenal. For fine finish sanding, I find the Rotex to very much be lacking, where I think this comes in probably ahead of the RO90. So let's talk more about this sander. You see, very, compact. Has a non-traditional grip. So you do have to think about balancing, the 3-inch pad, which is actually smaller than an RO90. I think the RO90 is 3 1/4, 3.5 inches. So the pads are not, unfortunately, I don't think the pads are interchangeable. So you have to get Milwaukee 3-inch pads, sanding pads. So good luck finding that. They do make their own mesh sandpaper, so very nice. Let's bring it back together. Bring it back. Has a light, has four modes, 1, 2, 3, 4. But in that 1, 2, 3, 4, you still have that variable trigger, so you can have a very light touch. It does also have a lock on the side, so you can just have it on with those presets and you will get the sanding. What does it come with? It comes with a holster. Now the holster I haven't used a whole lot. I haven't had a need to use it a whole lot, but it makes sense. You have your tool belt, you can just have the sander on the tool belt, you need it somewhere, it's there on your tool belt. It's a very smart thing, even for, you know, also comes with a screw hanger, so you could just hang it on the wall, and it just does help with organization and with storage. So that's a nice little touch. I would like to see more of that on more of the M12 tools. It does come with interface pads. So this is a sponge interface pad. Not quite as spongy as a surf prep pad, which I believe is the unsung hero of cabinet finishing, or the best kept secret of cabinet finishing. But this gets you pretty darn close. So that's a nice, so odd shapes, round profiles. This will get around it, and you will get a good sand on those odd shapes. Dust collection. It comes with a dust bag, and it comes with, on the back, it comes with a dust hose attachment. And I have to say, even with the bag, the dust collection is surprisingly good. The Milwaukee track saw, which I haven't talked about, but I have, and the dust collection on that, just with the bag, is phenomenal. This is very much like that, where you could, on a job site, feel like you're doing a good job of controlling the dust, just having this dust bag. Having the vacuum, which hooks on there, so that's not going to come off. Very nice, I have some blue tape on my hose just to have a tight friction fit. And the dust collection, for a mesh pad, which isn't going to pick up large pieces of debris, the dust collection is pretty darn good. Like, I am comparable to a Festool sander, where there's not much visible or tactile dust left on the workpiece. Obviously, it is battery powered M12 batteries, which are not known for their longevity, in that it's a 12-volt battery. Yes, I only have, the largest I have is a 4.0. I don't have any 5s or 6s. It's not an all-day sander. It's a sander to use it as you need it, supplementary to what you have in a corded model. And so, yeah, it's fantastic. Like, I'm sanding these little pumpkin guys just because they're fresh off the CNC. Got to sand them down real quick. And this is a nice little it's handy to have. I can take it with me. I can sand them at the CNC. I can sand them here. I can sand them just kind of wherever I get them cut out. And that's where I think this really stands out. What this really makes me excited for is seeing how they went from this to this, and knowing that, if you've looked at their pipeline, is that they have 6-inch sanders coming out in the M12 battery format. Obviously, it's not going to be an all-day sander, but I believe it's another one of those, it's going to be a phenomenal supplementary sander to have available, especially with how balanced and how smooth this sander actually is compared to a lot of the other battery-powered sanders that I've used. It also makes me excited for the new M18 sander that's going to be coming out. That's going to have a better format, better handle, better sander, more control than the old M18 sander that they had. So, it's just real quick, just quick overview. This is a cool sander. Get it if you have a primary sander and you're looking for something to supplement that sander. This is a supplementary sander. This is a supplementary sander. This could be your primary sander. For me, this is a supplementary sander. My primary sander would be something like this. Corded. Corded is going to be primary because it is a workshop tool. This is a job site tool. Job site tools are going to be, are by design different than workshop tools, because workshop tools are going to be used for longer periods of time, over longer periods of time, whereas job site tools are a lot of short bursts here, there, and everywhere. So that's it. M12 orbital sander, 3-inch orbital sander. Pretty cool tool. Because it just came out, there's not a lot of deals, not a lot of specials with it. So we'll see what happens around Christmas. Hopefully they'll package some batteries with it, because that would be a nice bonus. Greg with Spotted Tongue Woodworking. Have a great day.